I'll open the Bifrost.
Chris Hemsworth is an Australian actor best known for his role as the Scandinavian God of Thunder in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Where I met you.
He won the hearts of millions of fans, not only with his glamorous appearance, but also with his easygoing personality. An exemplary family man, he does not like the attention of the paparazzi, and in the near future, he may retire completely from the spotlight. We will talk about this and much more in our new video.
Hang on. I'll be back around shortly.
I really feel like we were connecting there.
Thor, how Chris Hemsworth lives and where he spends his millions.
It's a long story, but basically I'm a bit of a hero.
Christopher Hemsworth was born on August 11, 1983 in Melbourne, Australia, to Leonie, an English teacher, and Craig, a social work consultant. He has Dutch and Irish roots on his mother's side and English, Scottish, and German roots on his father's side. Chris is the second of 3 sons in the Hemsworth family. His older brother Luke and younger Liam also became actors. As a child, the middle son was nicknamed Kip, as he had difficulty pronouncing his own name because instead of Christopher, he pronounced it as Kiptitter. Interestingly, the boy's uncle was Rodney Ansell, who, according to one account, became the prototype for the hero of the movie Crocodile Dundee. He was married to Chris's maternal aunt for some time and became widely known thanks to the story of his survival in the wild for 56 days. The Hemsworths lived alternately in the south of the country in Melbourne and in the north in the small town of Balmain. Chris's most vivid childhood memories are associated with this provincial place where there are farms and animals like crocodiles and buffalo. Finally, the family settled on Phillip Island, where our star and his brothers found a new hobby. From morning till evening, they were subduing the waves on the board, and even on school days got up early to have time to surf before school. Hemsworth says that this activity instilled in him a love of adventure, which in turn led him to the film industry.
Because that's what heroes do.
However, he had a great passion for acting since childhood. The boy loved to act out small scenes in front of his family and, together with his brothers, dreamed of one day reaching the same heights as other great Australian actors. As can be seen, the Hemsworth brothers were very close-knit. They constantly invented adventures and spent time in nature, but they also fought often. For example, once the younger Liam threw a knife at Chris, but fortunately, it was the handle that hit him, not the blade. Incidentally, Christopher was the calmest of the 3 boys in the family. He was the only one who could have a heart-to-heart talk with his mother about something personal. At the age of 14, the teenager took a job at a pharmacy to earn some pocket money. Interestingly, among his duties was cleaning and repairing milk pumps, which the pharmacy rented out. He also loved cross-stitching, showed a real interest in sewing, and even considered becoming a fashion designer. The boy just wanted to dress stylishly, but there was not enough money in the family. Anyway, this hobby of his was short-lived. After high school, Chris enrolled at Screenwise Film and TV Acting School in Sydney. Not only did he want to fulfill his childhood dream of becoming a famous actor, but also his main goal was to get rich and help his parents pay for their house. Spoiler alert, he succeeded and gave his first big payment to settle all his father's debts. The first step on the way to success was taking part in an Australian TV series. In 2002, the young actor starred in 2 episodes of family fantasy Guinevere Jones and 1 episode each in the drama series Martial Law and soap opera Neighbours. Interestingly, all of the Hemsworth brothers appeared in the latter at different years. This was followed by small roles in the multi-part projects The Saddle Club and Fergus MacPhail. Meanwhile, at the age of 21, Chris went to audition for the successful soap opera Home and Away. He claimed the role of a character named Robbie Hunter, but the producers had already found another actor. Then he was offered to play Kim Hyde, a young guy who, along with his father, a high school principal, comes to the coastal town of Summer Bay, where the events of the series unfold. Hemsworth was thrilled to have landed his first significant role, especially as it earned him an Australian Logie Awards nomination for Most Popular New Talent. However, the euphoria was quickly replaced by disappointment as the actor shot 20 scenes every day and provided 5 episodes every week. Chris barely withstood such a busy schedule and prayed that his character would die soon. None of these prayers were heard, and the actor has been working on the show for 4 years, appearing in 194 episodes. Incidentally, during this time, he acquired a lot of useful skills. For example, he learned how to ride a horse. While working on the soap opera, the guy had a romance with actress Isabel Lucas. They married in 2006, but divorced after 2 years, realizing that they were too hasty with marriage. The ex-spouses remained on friendly terms. Having obtained his first popularity, our star, in between shootings, participated in the Australian version of the show Dancing with the Stars. After the first rehearsal, he strongly regretted that he had agreed to this venture as he failed badly in his dance routines. Together with his partner, they consistently received low marks from the jury, but thanks to the support of the audience, lasted 7 episodes. Incidentally, this fact about his background almost prevented Chris from getting the role of Thor later on because the general director of Marvel Studios was worried that ballroom dancing did not correlate with the image of the God of Thunder. After finishing his filming in the TV series Home and Away, Hemsworth really made his way to try his luck in Hollywood. In America, the guy was accommodated by agent William Ward, but was asked to work as a babysitter as compensation. Ward's children were restless and loved to test the patience of their nanny. Chris had to call his older brother Luke, who already had a child at the time, for advice. In the spring of 2009, the actor debuted in a Hollywood project, and it was a major one. He played George Kirk, the father of James Tiberius Kirk in Star Trek. Although he initially tried for the lead role, but was rejected for his tall stature. Despite the small screen time, Hemsworth managed to prove himself in Hollywood.
I'm not gonna be there.
No,
This is the only way you'll survive.
please stay on the ship. You have to be here.
The shuttles will never make it if I don't fight them off.
George, I can't do this without you.
Shortly after, he got a role in the thriller A Perfect Getaway, and in 2010, there was the release of a film called Cash, in which Chris had the opportunity to work with his idol, Sean Bean.
Where did you get it?
Straight from heaven, baby.
No, really, Sam, where?
Okay, I was on the Dan Ryan Expressway, right? And a police chase went by, and it just crashed onto the hood of my car.
At the same time, the guy met Spanish actress Elsa Pataki through his agent. He was charmed by the girl's sense of humor and passionate attitude to life, and she fell in love with his voice after their first conversation over the phone. The girl was afraid that her lover, who is 7 years younger, would not want to start a family in the near future, but her fears proved untrue. A few months later, they got engaged, and the couple got married on Christmas vacation. The wedding was a spontaneous decision, which is why the couple do not even remember the exact date. Sometime in December, says Chris. After the birth of their firstborn daughter, India Rose, Elsa decided to suspend her acting career, and a few years later, their sons, twins Tristan and Sasha, were born. Even before marriage and the birth of his children, Hemsworth was considering quitting his career in Hollywood and returning to his homeland. He did not like to go to the endless auditions and receive refusals. No was what he received from the creators of the movie about Thor, but later he was given a second chance. This time, Chris beat the competition from other applicants for the role, including his brother Liam. Interestingly, Chris was born on Thursday, a day that is named after Thor in English. According to some reports, the fee for the performer of the title role was $150,000. In preparation for the shooting, the actor gained about 20 pounds of muscle mass. To do this, he pumped iron almost every day in the gym, and in the evenings, he was surfing, boxing, or jogging for several hours.
What a classic Thor adventure. Hurrah!
However, no amount of preparation helped him to fit in the dressing of his character. The red cloak of the Thunder God turned out to be most impractical, preventing him from doing even the simplest tricks. Chris described his sensations as if you were wearing a long ball gown over a huge spacesuit made of metal and rubber. Nevertheless, the superhero film brought the Australian guy world fame, and also a new brother. Chris became so friendly with Tom Hiddleston, who played the role of Loki, that he named him an honorary member of the Hemsworth family.
I only ever wanted to be your equal. I will not fight you, brother! I'm not your brother. I never was. Loki, this is madness. Is it madness?
Thor was released in 2011, and a few months later, our star appeared in the role of good-natured student athlete Kurt in the horror movie The Cabin in the Woods. The fee for this work allowed him to pay off the mortgage for his parents' house. In 2011, viewers saw Hemsworth in the role of Thor in the film The Avengers for a fight scene in which he received an MTV Channel Award.
Do not touch me again.
Then don't take my stuff.
You have no idea what you're dealing with.
Shakespeare in the Park?
He also appeared in the action movie Red Dawn, which was supposed to be released in 2010, but was postponed because of financial problems. However, after the success of Chris in the films of the Marvel Universe, the studio decided to release Red Dawn in theaters. Nevertheless, its box office expectations were not met. The movie failed at the box office and received mostly negative reviews. Coincidentally, Hemsworth's ex-wife, Isabel Lucas, appeared in the film. In the same year, the fantasy Snow White and the Huntsman premiered, on set of which Chris made friends with Snow White, Kristen Stewart, despite the fact that the woman accidentally gave him a black eye, and Queen Ravenna, Charlize Theron. The film received mixed reviews, with the Australian personally criticized for his not-so-impressive Scottish accent. His fee amounted to $5 million.
What the hell's going on? Who are you? Why is the Queen wants you dead?
She wants everyone dead, all of us.
What makes you so damn valuable?
You should know you're the one hunting me.
Chris's acting efforts did not go unnoticed. He was nominated for a BAFTA Award in the Rising Star category. In 2013, the actor again played George Kirk in the sci-fi action film Star Trek Into Darkness, and also appeared in the second solo movie about Thor, The Dark World. Chris was nominated for 2 MTV Awards, but he was not satisfied with his work. By his admission, he was disappointed that he was unable to develop the character to show the audience something unexpected and unusual.
Must have missed something.
I didn't. I'm pressing every button on this thing.
No, don't hit it. Just press it gently.
I am pressing it gently. Stop. Away!
At that time, the biographical drama Rush was also released. In it, the actor played a British Formula One racer, the 1976 world champion James Hunt, and to do this, he dropped 30 pounds of weight. The actors were not allowed to pilot real cars of the Queen of Motorsport, so the slower Formula 3 cars were used in the frame. However, the shooting took place on real autodromes with the involvement of current racers and team managers as consultants. As a result, the film was loved by fans of motorsports and enjoyed box office success.
How's that working out for you, by the way?
Fine. How is it at the back?
Not planning on being there for long.
According to the media, for his role in Rush and Thor, Chris earned a total of $58 million. Hemsworth then made a small break in filming, deciding to be with his family.
You left us.
But returned to the scene in 2015 with 4 projects at once. The first of them is a spy detective story with thriller elements called Black Hat.
What's that?
I do my own time, not the institutions. So to hold on to who you are in there, you dedicate yourself to your program. You work out in your body and your mind.
For his role in it, Chris learned to type quickly on a computer. He practiced this skill for 10 weeks and hated every minute of training. The man admits that even in school he hated classes, so he studied poorly. Incidentally, this trait was passed on to his and Elsa's children. Teaching them is like trying to stage a fight scene, says our star. Pens and pencils were thrown at him from time to time when he had to convince his children to study, which is why he has to stay on guard. His next projects were the adventure comedy Vacation, A Kiss in Which was nominated for an MTV Award, superhero blockbuster Avengers Age of Ultron with a fee of $5 million, and the adventure film In the Heart of the Sea. During the filming of the latter, Chris first worked with Tom Holland and was impressed by the performance of the young talent, so later recommended him for the role of Spider-Man. In the Heart of the Sea is about the crew of a ship sunk by a giant whale.
That's a fine job trimming sails today. I saw you pack of deck wallopers I don't think I've ever seen.
The characters struggle for survival in the middle of the ocean for more than 3 months, so the cast were on a strict diet, eating no more than 600 calories a day to look believable. In fact, Chris has a sweet tooth in real life. He especially adores chocolate and cannot imagine his life without this delicacy. The man admitted that it helps him to stay in shape to some extent because the more often he eats sweets, the more he has to go to the gym. The following year, Hemsworth appeared in a Doctor Strange movie but was not listed in the credits, starred in the sequel to the fantasy Snow White and the Huntsman, earning $10 million for it, and starred in a remake of Ghostbusters. He played the secretary of the paranormal hunters and used his native accent for the first time since his days in Australia. Chris is so used to changing his pronunciation on camera that it even seemed unnatural for him to speak with an Australian accent.
Here's your coffee, Abby.
Thank you. Did you get sugar in it this time?
I hate coffee. Yeah, the sugar's in there.
Sugar's in it.
The year 2017 enriched the filmography of the actor with another film by Marvel Studios, Thor Ragnarok, receiving a fee of $15 million. He had to gain muscle mass again, working out 6 and sometimes the whole 7 days a week and consuming about 6,000 calories per day. Interestingly, the movie featured the older brother of our star Luke, who played actor Thor. MTV Channel once again nominated Chris for Best Fight.
Dear brother, becoming predictable. I trust you. You betray me round and round in circles we go. See, Loki, life is about growth. It's about change. But you seem to just want to stay the same.
According to Forbes, Hemsworth earned $30 million from June 2016 to June 2017, and that amount rose to $65 million a year later. In 2018, the military drama 12 Strong, starring Chris, was released, where the role of his screen wife was played by his actual wife. There were even some of their characters' lines taken from real life. The actor says that the shooting was like a vacation because he and Elsa do not often manage to be alone together without children.
Don't wish for what you don't want.
You were on a flight to New York 2 months ago.
You don't have to justify it to me.
A little later, Chris Hemsworth appeared as Thor in Avengers: Infinity War. For his work, the actor received $15 million, and after filming together with colleagues, he had a tattoo of a modified logo of the Avengers, with the number 6 inside, the numbers of superheroes in the original team. By the way, this is not the only tattoo on the Australian's body. He has the initials of his family members, a drawing dedicated to his daughter's favorite book, Dr. Seuss's Oh, the Places You'll Go, and several drawings of India on his arm. In addition, geometric shapes can be seen on his right forearm. Makeup artists have to work for an hour at a time to hide all these tattoos. In the fall of 2018, the audience saw Chris in the thriller Bad Times at the El Royale for his role in which he again had to lose weight. While in the finale of Avengers in 2019, the Thunder God played by him completely neglected himself and his perfect abs turned into a huge potbelly. For this, the actor wore a special suit weighing about 65 pounds, which was also terribly hot inside. His fee amounted to $15 million, and in just 1 year, according to Forbes, Chris earned $75 million.
Sometimes it takes a second.
I'm still worthy.
Soon, Hemsworth starred in the reboot of the franchise Men in Black International, as well as in the satirical comedy Jay and Silent Bob reboot. His next project was the action movie Extraction, which was filmed in the Indian city of Ahmedabad.
There's a chicken in your bathroom.
Yeah, I like chickens. It's a lot of shit everywhere.
The locals were thrilled with the opportunity to see the famous Thor live, and some fans were on 15 hours duty at the set for this reason. The actor then appeared in the online series James and the Giant Peach with Taika and Friends, and the mystery multi-part project by Netflix, True Story. He also took part in the voice work for Marvel series Loki and What If? In 2022, Hemsworth played a cameo role as an appliance store clerk in the action-adventure film Interceptor and a scientist experimenting on prisoners in the science fiction film Spiderhead.
For instance, what's the drug's duration? What's the variable effect of its dosage? You see, you and Sarah were on double the dose of you and Heather, and yet your feelings for the two women are largely the same. Don't you find that interesting?
Additionally, there was the premiere of the long-awaited solo movie about the former king of Asgard, Thor: Love and Thunder.
I think it's time for your first beer. What do you say? Delicious. Sorry we've been fighting lately.
For this role, Chris got into the best physical shape. His weight was 230 pounds, and to maintain such a large muscle mass, he had to eat 8 times a day during filming. Our star's sons, Sasha and Tristan, appeared in the movie and played Thor as a child. By the way, each time he played the Scandinavian god, Chris took the hammers home, as they were slightly modified from movie to movie. A sequel to the action movie Extraction was released on Netflix this June. Furiosa, a sci-fi action film, and Transformers 1, an animated film with the Australian's voiceover, are currently in production. 2 more projects have also been announced: Marvel's Avengers: Secret Wars and a biographical film about wrestler Hulk Hogan. However, at the end of the year, there was alarming news that Hemsworth will end his career because of the risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. During the filming of the documentary series No Borders, in which the actor talks about the capabilities of the body, he was diagnosed and a gene responsible for the development of this disease was found. The news greatly alarmed the man, and he decided to seriously address his health. Firstly, he refused to radically change his weight and stop losing or gaining weight in the next projects. Secondly, he followed the advice of doctors to rest more, get more sleep, eat less meat and more vegetables, and minimize the amount of stress in everyday life. Chris does not plan to quit work abruptly and will still complete his planned shootings. But in the future, he wants to go on indefinite vacation. Most of all, he worries that he will replicate the fate of his grandfather, who has been struggling to speak for several years and mixes English and Dutch in speech. At the same time, the celebrity is trying to be optimistic about the future and notes that he will finally be able to spend time with his wife and children. Our star has earned a reputation as an ideal father who adores his daughter and sons. He enjoys playing, laughing, and crying with them without being embarrassed. Chris says that before the birth of his children, he could not even think that he was capable of such a strong and all-consuming love. Hemsworth's hobbies include beekeeping and Australian soccer. He supports the Western Bulldogs team and has been involved in the Australian Football League marketing campaign. He has also become a global ambassador for Tourism Australia, invited guests to the expo in Dubai, and promoted the Australian pay TV company Foxtel. After his role in the film Rush, the actor began cooperation with the watch brand Tag Heuer, and since 2017 with Hugo Boss. Chris said that this brand's cologne was the first one he started using in his youth. Now, the fortune of our star is estimated at $130 million. He earns money not only by playing roles in films and commercials, but also by doing business. The actor launched a mobile app center for fans of a healthy lifestyle with training plans, nutrition, and inspirational affirmations. The service became popular in North America and Australia, and after the purchase by a large investment company, there are plans to expand to Southeast Asia and Europe. Hemsworth remained the second largest shareholder following the deal. Chris is a spokesperson for the Australian Childhood Foundation and is involved in fundraising. In addition, together with the beer brand Corona and the environmental organization Parley, he took part in the action that draws attention to the problem of ocean pollution. In 2020, the Hemsworth family donated $1 million to fight forest fires in Australia. Chris's house is also on the Green Continent. He built a huge modern mansion in Byron Bay in the state of New South Wales for $15 million, including $500,000 spent only on landscape design. Residents of the coastal town were not delighted with such a large-scale construction, but the actor was not stopping. And now he can enjoy the privacy of the ocean. The building has a 160-foot pool on the roof and solar panels installed, and inside one of the walls of the lobby, there is a mural titled "Thank the Ocean." The construction of this house was a test for Chris and Elsa's marriage, but they were able to endure it. Speaking of which, during arguments, Pataki switches to Spanish, which her husband never learned. In front of the children, however, he usually pretends to understand everything and then takes his wife aside and asks her what she actually told them. The couple moved to Australia because of their children. After they lived in Malibu, Chris paid $4.8 million for a house in the neighborhood of Point Doom in 2013 and sold it 3 years later for $7 million. It is noteworthy that this literally bright house belonged to Paul Hogan, the on-screen Crocodile Dundee. The property is hidden behind a hedge and combines Victorian style with a modern European aesthetic. Inside, there is a large living room with a fireplace. The highlight of the kitchen is the vaulted wooden ceiling, and the second floor has a veranda with stunning views of the surrounding countryside. In 2016, the star couple owned a house nearby on a green slope with mountain views. At their disposal were 4 bedrooms, including children's, 4 bathrooms, a kitchen that turns into a dining room, a media room, an open terrace, and a cozy courtyard with a sauna. However, this mansion was also put on sale in 2021 for $4.9 million. That same year, the media reported that the actor paid between $10 and $15 million for a huge piece of land in the northeast of Tasmania. Its coastline stretched for almost 1.8 miles.
What good would it do? We'd all be dead the minute we stepped 1 foot outside the palace.
That, my friend, is why we won't be leaving life.
The Australian's car collection is no less grandiose than his real estate. He has several Audi miles, the sporty R8 and the practical Q7, 2 Cadillacs, the equally practical and also luxurious Escalade, and the mid-size SRX crossover. There are also 2 Mercedes in Chris's garage, a sporty version of the C63 AMG C-Class limousine, and a luxury V250D minivan. Hemsworth's cars also include an Acura MDX, Toyota Land Cruiser, Volkswagen Amarok pickup truck, and a heavy-duty Land Rover Defender. In interviews after the release of the film Thor: Love and Thunder, the actor hinted that he plans to end the story of this character. However, the president of Marvel Studios said that Thor still has room to develop. Would you like to see Chris Hemsworth dressed as the Thunder God again?
Guard. Interview's over.
If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything interesting.